It's time for me to weigh in on the Trump and Zohran Mamdani presser in the White House. It's been a little bit since this happened, but I would encourage you to go back and watch the, what was it, like 30 minutes or so? I just want to say, like, just off the jump, I was very, very, very pleased at how that meeting seemed to have turned out, and then the presser afterwards was very revealing. But what I want to talk about is, you know, people are like kind of wondering, like, well, like, why and how did that go down that way? A little bit of background on me. So, like, right now I live in Northern California. I moved out here in like December of 2011. I was born and raised in New York. I grew up in Greenville, New York, the foot of the Catskill Mountains. I moved to like the Albany region, capital region area, when I was like 12, 13 years old. Well, a little bit after, maybe closer to 15. But I lived in the capital region for a long time before I moved to California. So being a New Yorker, and I don't know how much of this is heard and felt around the United States, but being born and raised in New York, there's something special about New York. There's a saying that a lot of you've probably heard about New York. Like, the saying goes, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And I would argue that's true. But I would say it's especially true for New York City. Because New York City is kind of like the hub of the world. Like, it is one of the most magnificent special cities maybe in the world, and it has everybody and everything. So if you're able to just make it there, make a life for yourself there, it comes with some credibility. Like, it comes with some bona fides. If you can like get a business going there and last for any length of time that's substantial, that is some serious credibility, because it is one of the most competitive places on the planet. You know, like, New Yorkers get a reputation for like being rude or whatever. It's just, they're busy. They don't have time to play around. So like, when they want to talk to you about something, they don't beat around the bush. They get right to it. So a lot of people get put off by like that directness. So I say all that to say this, like, there's a kinship with Trump and Mamdani, because both of them have an identity, a shared identity of being New Yorkers, and doing something, establishing themselves in New York City. Another thing, Trump really would have liked to have been able to become mayor of New York City. I think he had, for some reason, I thought he had run. I know that people have talked about him and suggesting that like he could or should run for office. I think he was encouraged to run for president. It might have been like Barbara Walters or something that suggested that, because he was talking about how the country was being run or whatever. And I don't know if that was like a cynical thing or a what. But Mamdani won the primary, got turnout that was historical. Like, there has never been that big of a turnout in the history of New York City for a mayoral race. It was significant. Same is true for the general. Huge. Mamdani, against all the odds, beat some of the most established players. He beat the money. He beat the billionaires. He beat a big name. Like, the Cuomo family has history. In U.S. politics, name recognition can often be sometimes even more important than whatever policy platform you're running on. Everybody went after the guy. He went from, this is the other thing, like, Trump, no matter what else, like, it doesn't matter ideology, he respects winners. And Mamdani went from like 1 to 2% back in like October when he first ran, a year before the election, to winning. So like, you have the New York identity, the New York City thing, making it in New York City, making something of yourself. The American story of like somebody who came back, like the underdog story. That is a very popular thing in the United States. Like, everybody loves an underdog story. Coming and like making yourself something from nothing, or people that, like, for all intents and purposes couldn't and shouldn't have won, but they did. They pulled it off. And that is Mamdani in this case. So it's a real compelling narrative, and there's overlap here. Like, shared New Yorker identity, both of them love the city. Like, years back, Trump saw himself as someone, or at least he advertised himself as someone who wanted to make New York City better than it was, because when he came up, New York there was a lot of problematic things happening in the city. Like the mafia had a lot of control. There was a lot of crime. The dark underbelly of New York City was exposed to the light of day on a regular basis, and it wasn't as safe of a place as it is today. So you have all this going on, and also, like, Trump is kind of an authoritarian. He will kind of fawn over the person that is presenting as the strongest presence in the room. And Mamdani kind of had him cowed by just not backing down on anything, being honest about where they have disagreements and different ideologies on things. But ultimately, like, you know, Trump recognizes that the wins are at Mamdani's back, and that's true for anybody who's running on affordability when we're struggling. That was something that, you know, Trump had run on, but he's struggling on. He's not doing well in the polls. His people are telling him, like, we got to change up our messaging a little bit. And I think it created an opportunity for Mamdani to listen, or Trump to listen to Mamdani about his ideas. And maybe he doesn't agree with everything, but Trump's in a weird spot because he doesn't want to see anything bad happening to New York City. He wants New York City to win. So it's this very, like, interesting culmination. And Trump's not really an ideologue. He just wants to win. And he wants to be on the team of the winner, even if it's on the opposing side. There was some other interesting stuff there where he was, like, saying, like, he was kind of giving Bernie Sanders praise. He was praising the fact that 1 out of 10 Trump supporters voted for Mamdani. Mamdani kind of gave Trump some credit, like, or like just hinted at the fact that, like, he talked to people and asked why they voted for Trump, and they talked about the affordability thing. So it's like, it's all these things combined, and I think he respects Mamdani, and I would argue him talking to Mamdani in the meeting that they had, I would guess it was probably a refreshing thing for Trump to talk to somebody who actually is authentic, actually believes in something, and is actually a fighter for the people, and stands on principle and doesn't back down. Like, it's a respect of strength in the most positive form. And that's been my argument, that I wish more people that want to run for office would not be connected to power and money, and not respect power and money for power and money's sake. I think they should be authentic. They should listen to the people. Just practice basic politics. Be real, listen, develop a policy set, and run on it. And if that wins, that's your mandate. And I think people would, on all sides, vote for candidates like that, because that is what people are looking for. They're hungry for it. And they're tired of these liars, like people that just think that, like the Democratic establishment and the Republican establishment, they think it's just a messaging thing. They think it's an image thing, when it's not. It's policy. It's actually listening to people's concerns and then actually doing something with power, because people are tired. Like, I am sick and tired of getting the stupid, like, fundraising emails from the Democratic establishment. And there's a reason why those guys get like 19% support, because they're corporate establishment hacks that send money overseas. Our tax dollars go towards bombing children and elderly people, bombing people out of existence, and also funding their health care, funding their kids until they're 18 years old. I'm talking about Israel. And again, I got no beef with Jewish people. I have an issue with nationalists, whether they're ethno-nationalists or religious nationalists. I don't appreciate that stuff. I don't appreciate genocidal rhetoric. It's a problem. I think our people deserve to have healthcare, childcare, That's these universal programs, education. We should expect to actually get something from our tax dollars, and to stop getting involved in like foreign entanglements and starting trouble all over the place. Like our country's nation's welfare should not be warfare. But that's my take on how and why that meeting went so well. I think there's a lot of things that kind of connect, like the shared identity, the winner thing, the underdog story, the fact that Zohran won on affordability, and he's got ideas for how to address those things, which makes Trump's ears open. He seems to have respect for somebody who is just strong as an individual for the people and actually believes in something, somebody who's authentic. Being an authentic person is something that connects with people. People have an innate bullshit detector. And for me personally, if I catch a hint of bullshit, I have lost all respect for you. And it's going to be a bit of work for you to come back from that and get my trust or get my respect. I don't owe you that. If you're not authentic with me, if you're not honest with your communication, I just don't care. I don't know if that's because I'm a New Yorker or it's just because I'm a human being. But I'm tired. I'm tired of people that lie, and that obviously don't mean what they say. So that's my take. I'd love to get your thoughts. Hit me up in the comments. There'll be a Substack with a little bit longer description about all this stuff, and the breakdown in case you missed anything. Yeah. All right. Take care. It's a holiday week, so I'm off, and I've been playing hooky a little bit because I can, doing self-care and just chilling. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. Bye.